Hi friends, today's a very exciting video and we're just gonna jump right into it because I cannot wait another minute to dive right into the Pür X Rawbeautykristi double-sided pressed pigment palette. Whew, that is a mouthful, but this intro is gonna be short and sweet. And welcome to the latest series in palette potential. Let's get started. It has been a while since we have done a palette potential, mostly because there have not been that many eyeshadow palette launches in the last couple of months, but I knew as soon as she announced this palette that I had to get my hands on it and I had to do a deep dive. I'm so excited. If you haven't seen this all over the internet yet, then you obviously must not like makeup very much. This has been a highly anticipated collaboration with Pür and Rawbeautykristi. She is one of my favorite influencers on YouTube. I think she's just one of the most down-to-earth creators on the platform, and even though she has recently just crested over 1 million subscribers, I feel like she's never going to change. Like, I feel like she's never going to be one of those people that just moves to LA and forgets about the rest of humanity. I honestly just really admire her as an individual, and I also admire her as a creator. She's always stayed true to who she is, and I feel like this palette is a direct reflection of that. If you haven't seen it yet, it is in fact not one but two-sided. What? It's crazy. This palette is just a perfect reflection of her. She basically does whatever she wants with makeup. If she feels like doing it, she's gonna do it. And I feel like a double-sided palette is the perfect representation of how much she just loves all kinds of makeup and all styles of makeup. You've got your neutrals with your warm tones and your cool tones, and you also have the fun, bright, colorful side with the perfect building blocks to create any sort of rainbow eye that you could ever dream up. Also, most of the shades in this palette are matte, which is so lovely. There is just not enough mostly matte palettes in the universe. The only two shimmers in this palette are in the center of each side. You guys have probably all seen a bunch of reviews on this already. I'm the last person to get my hands on it, but being a Canadian, that is par for the course. So I'm sure you've seen swatches and you've seen the specs. All I'm gonna say beforehand is that it is a pressed pigment palette, which means that some of these ingredients are deemed by the FDA not eye safe, i.e. some of the pigments will probably stain your eyelid for longer than the average eyeshadow. However, in order to maintain cruelty-free and vegan status, certain non-animal derived ingredients will have to be used. The FDA in the United States is definitely behind the times on what is deemed eye safe and what is not. So I would not worry too much unless you are incredibly sensitive to certain dyes. However, I am not, so I am just going to throw this all over my face willy-nilly. Also, before we start, I think we have to do a little, well, that was less fun than I anticipated. No peel porn today. I also got my hands on one of the lashes that she included in the collaboration. I ended up going with the Lovely lashes as opposed to the other ones. Both these lashes were supposed to represent either side of her personality. This side being the more natural side. However, I've already worn these once and I can tell you, I would not call these lashes natural, but they are beautiful and I'm really excited to show them to you today. Anyway, let's zoom you guys in and start playing with some eyeshadow. Also, guys, I straightened my hair with this haircut for the first time and I love it. I gave myself a little blowout. Haven't done that in a couple of months. It is giving me K-pop vibes and I'm here for it. I am so drawn towards a couple of the shades in particular, one of them being this pink. The camera does not do it justice. I kind of want to play around with maybe using both sides of the palette today. So I don't know, I'm just gonna start playing and see where my brain wants to go. I'm trying very hard not to think too much about it beforehand and just kind of get right into it. So let's just start off by priming. But I think I'm gonna start building the shape with Dandelion just because it has just a brighter tone to it, and I think that would be a better transition shade. So Dandelion right off the bat has a lot of kickback. You can kind of see in the pan there. That's okay. It usually just means that it's going to be a stunning blend. Oof. That is a good yellow. I will attest to that for sure. So I'm just gonna pop that in the crease near the brow, kind of like the shape I did in the last video. If you haven't seen that yet, I will link it up here. I'm gonna keep it a little bit more contained. I think I will actually take the shadow a bit farther this way today. It's kind of that perfect sunflower, warm, rich yellow. and did not take me very long to build that up. And I'm really feathering that out so that we get a nice blend. Part of me kind of wants to transition into a different color on the outer corner for some reason. Let's do it. I think I want to go like with pink or something. I don't know. Let's not think about it too hard, shall we? I think I'm going to go in first actually on the outer edge with It Just Does and see what happens if I transition this pink into the more vibrant pink in the palette. Ooh, again, lots and lots of fallout. That's okay. But I think I'm going to try and blend these two areas together and create a little V shape on the outer edge. So I feel like these two shades will blend really well together. This shade is deceptively pigmented though, so just be very sparing. Trying to blend those two areas together. That's really pretty. I think I want to go in with Am I Orange? Like we all knew that that shade name had to happen, right? And I'm going to blend it into the crease a little farther on the inside. But so far they are really easy to blend. The color payoff is great. Like look at that. I didn't even have to do anything. Ooh, she's pretty. As intimidating as some of these shades look in the pan, they're actually quite wearable, even though they are on the bright side of the palette. I don't know, I feel like you could incorporate some of these shades on this side into the neutral side of the palette. All right, let's go back in to Dandelion, just so we don't lose that yellow. That orange and yellow. So pretty. Now for the shade that I've been really looking forward to hitting, and that is Side Effect. And I'm gonna hit up the crease on the outer edge with this. Really trying to press it in to get that color payoff. Oh, that is so pretty though. The way those two pinks blend together as well. Like, I'm gonna dip back into It Just Does, just to really blow out this outer corner a bit more. Back into Side Effect. I really want this pink to pop. So far so good. I'm really enjoying how everything is settling, and it's really not taking too much time at all to blend these together. So right on the lid, I think I'm going to dip into Tribute. Oh my God. It's beautiful. And let's see if we can deepen up this outer third. Oh, okay, sure. Try not to take it too far up into the crease. And as we know, purples are a bit tricky to formulate, so I'm trying really hard not to create any sort of patchiness on this outer corner. Let's dip back into Side Effect really quickly, just to reinforce that pink a little bit more on that outer edge. I want to deepen up this little portion of the crease because we're going to be cutting it. All right, let's dip into Told You, just to really deepen up that orange. Let's dip back into the orange. Okay, this is kind of fun. I want to cut the crease. Let's give this a little half cut. And then I think I'm going to use Cafe Disco for the lid. I think it'll be stunning, but I want to put down something neutral first. While that's sort of tacky, I'm going to dip into My Whole Heart. Pat that over the top. I mean, there's something quite chic about it being matte. Just lighten that up on the inner corner a teens with Lumos, which is just a matte white. And from what I've seen, it's quite white. So I'm gonna be pretty sparing with it, but I just wanna lighten up this inner corner a little bit. Is I'm first gonna lay down Lumos in the inner corner for a highlight. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take Cafe Disco just on my finger and see what happens, like press it in. And I'm gonna take Cafe Disco on the brush and try and get a little further into that crease. That is a stunning topper. I think I might go back into Side Effect. And then I'm gonna go back into Tribute to reinforce the purple. Okay, yeah, I'm really liking that. Now I need to figure out what to do with the lower lash line. I have no idea. So let's start with Side Effect. Just right in here. pinch of It Just Does to warm up that outer corner. And then I think what I want to do is use the orange. I want this orange to be really prominent though, so that you get that balance of orange being right in this corner as well as on the outer edge. Lastly, let's dip back into Dandelion, blend out that edge. And then lastly into It Just Does to finish off the outer edge. I think that's good for now. And I'm gonna do all that on the other side, and then we will come back and finish the look. Other side is done, lashes are on. Again, these are the Lovely style that came in the collection. I can't remember what the other ones were called, but they really didn't speak to me, even though they were supposed to be the more dramatic lashes, and I love a good dramatic lash. But to me, when I was looking at all the promo shots and product shots, these are the ones that, for my personal taste anyway, seem to be the more voluminous, fluffy lashes, which translates to more dramatic in my opinion. So I wouldn't necessarily call these a natural lash. However, they are on a larger eye like mine, a little bit more subdued. So yeah, on my eye, they look a little bit more natural, but still they're pretty dramatic, but I love them. They're so beautiful. I would wear these as an everyday lash because I'm extra like that. I wore them without any eyeshadow and no other eye makeup, and they do look stunning just by themselves. The band is super invisible and really small, so you can get that really lash extension type of look with them. However, they do seem a little bit more flimsy because of that, so they might not last as long as a lash with a really thick band. They are so comfortable and I love them, and they fit under my glasses, so they are a win, 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 win. Let's just pop some white in the waterline and let's finish this face as fast as humanly possible. So I think for blush, I want to keep it pretty neutral, not too warm. I'm actually going to whip out a favorite of mine. It's a melt blush called Honey Thief, and it is quite neutral. It's got a bit of a sheen to it, but not quite, but it is a beautiful natural blush. For highlight, I'm actually gonna bust out the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics Meadow palette because it's got this really nice neutral peachy champagne shade that works really well as a highlight. And to blend those two areas together, I'm just going to bounce into some of these more glowy blushes from the Ambient Edit Ghost palette. Let's just pop on a few freckles. Let's just do a little combination of some neutral things. Just a tint lip crayon, one of my faves, in Gimme Some More. And then just to top it off with a little tiny bit of gloss, this is the So Juicy Plumping Gloss from ColourPop in NASA. All right, let's spray her down real quick. Bottom mascara. All right, folks, this is the finished look. I think this was a pretty successful test run with the Pür X Rawbeautykristi palette. I'm really excited to see how much versatility we can get out of this double-sided palette. I mean, like, just this side alone will give you every colorful look you could possibly imagine. And then this side alone will give you every neutral look you could possibly hope for. Together, I'm really interested to see how they cooperate, because you know me, I have to make things complicated. And I think today was incredibly successful, albeit I did skew more towards the colorful side today, but I'm hoping to create a more cohesive look in the future using both the neutral and the colorful side. I think the blue and the green will look stunning with some warm brown crease shades. Yeah, the possibilities are kind of endless. So let me know what you want to see from this palette. I would love to hear your thoughts on what kind of looks you want to see, what side of the palette are you most excited about. All of those opinions, please leave them them down below. As it stands, I am currently loving the direction this palette is going. The shades are incredibly manageable, and as far as I can tell, pretty easy to blend, even with such good color payoff. And that's a hard line to toe. I feel like manufacturers of eyeshadows are always trying to strike a balance between blendability, functionality, and pigment. And I think this is a nice blend of all three. So I'm really, really looking forward to the rest of this series. No matter what, I think everything out of this palette is going to be stunning. So, all right, folks, let me rattle off the spiel to you. Here are the many ways that you can help out my channel. You can give this video a huge thumbs up. You can comment down below what you thought of everything. You could subscribe. You can follow me on other social media. I will leave those right there. And if you wanted to know my thoughts about the palette and about the launch of the palette, you can go hit up my Patreon for some patron exclusive content. I started a new series recently called Base Chats, and it's been really, really fun to record those for my patrons. So if you haven't yet, please go check that out. All the exclusive content can be accessed with just a $2 pledge. Oh, my offering for the day is Sibling Rivalry, which is the Monet Exchange and Bob the Drag Queen podcast. Most of you probably already listened to it, but I'm new to it and I've just been howling with laughter on some of the episodes. All right, folks, that is it for me. Please stay safe, stay sane, wash your hands, wear a mask. Numbers are creeping up, guys, so let's get it back together, okay? We're doing really well, especially in BC, where we're doing so well and somehow we have fallen off the wagon, but let's just get right back on there, okay? I know we can do it. And above all else, just be kind and be generous, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.